and welcome. You have tuned into Market Fatafat on ET Now. I'm Shushi Sharma and with me is Snehi, and over the course of next 1 year, we will be taking through you all the counters that are buzzing in trade right now. We will connect with our researcher as well as our technical expert. But what a move in the market, Snehi, indeed, because the markets were seen to be consolidating in the first half, but second half, there's been no stopping.
No stopping is the word, Shrishti. We're surprisingly very close to 25,000. This is something we couldn't have said, let's say, 3 hours ago. Yeah. Because the situation was so different a couple of hours ago. We were tanking away in trade. We were almost 200-300 points off the day's high, but right now at the day's high is where we are at for the Nifty 50. Fresh high coming in 24,960 or thereabouts right now, very close to the 25,000 mark. Let's see if we're able to scale that today, and a 1.2% uptick is what we're seeing on the Nifty. Sensex in tandem as well, sharp recovery on that index as well, a 1.1% uptick over there. India VIX has spiked up roughly 2%, but since it's an expiry day today, this was expected. And Nifty Bank also very stellar recovery. It's changed its shade entirely from the red to the green, now 0.8% uptick coming in, crossing the 55,200 mark is Nifty Bank. Advance decline ratio steeply in the favor of the advances, so not much to worry here. You only have two names from the Nifty 50 pack that are in the red right now, that's IndusInd Bank and Cipla. Cipla too very nominally in the red. Rest 48 stocks are holding up very smartly with big gains coming from Hero Moto, or more than almost a 5.5% gain coming in over there. Tata Motors, JSW Steel, Shriram Finance, HCL Tech, Tata Consumer Trend, Adani Ports, all of them are gaining with more than 2% move coming in. Sectorally, sharp recovery on this front as well. PSU Bank is the only index that's nominally in the red. Otherwise, Nifty Media is your top gainer, followed by Auto, Realty, Metal, Nifty Bank, FMCG, IT, Energy and Pharma. So that's what the market is looking like right now. Sharp recovery on all fronts.
Well, yes, great move on the markets. Let's keep tracking that. But with this, let's also welcome on board our researchers for today as well as our technical expert. On the technical front, we have Lakshmikant Shukla joining us on the show right now. He is the technical analyst and institutional research for Yes Securities, as well as on the research front, we have Ansh as well as Rabinda with us. A very good afternoon, gentlemen, and thank you so much for your time. But let me just first start by highlighting what's been happening with Berger Paints, because that's one of the earning candidates. This time we have seen a good set of numbers rather coming in for Berger Paints, but when you look at the earnings, then the company has been gaining the momentum, continues to outperform in a challenging environment. Other than that, the outlook remains positive for FY26, when Berger Paints is targeting double-digit volume growth while striving to maintain or slightly expand its market share as well. The margin guidance remains unchanged. In Q4, the EBITDA margin expanded by 190 basis points, and that did surpass the analyst estimate as well. But other than that, the company is quite confident of a 15 to 17% EBITDA margin, while steady enhancing the profitability across its subsidiaries as well. So on the back of the earnings, good set of numbers, along with that positive management commentary. This counter is in focus. Other than that, what we are seeing on the stock price as well, the stock is inching higher with 2% of the gain right now.
Okay, 2% uptick on Berger Paints. Similar uptick coming in on HDFC AMC today, Lakshmikant. That's the stock that you've picked out for us. Last 6 months also the stock has done pretty okay, up 12%. Last 1 year also a good 25% gain. Tell us, with the steady momentum that we've seen on this stock, is there room for more gains or now time for some slowdown?
Good afternoon to you all. Thank you for inviting me in your show. Now talking about HDFC, so recently we have seen pole and flag breakout on the daily chart, and apart from that, it has started trading above its bullish crossover of 220 DMA with the formation of higher tops and higher bottom. So overall, the structure seems to be bullish, and we expect that stock could move higher toward the levels of 4,975, which is our first target. So we are expecting upside momentum in this stock. So one can take entry in HDFC AMC during the pullback of 4,640 to 4,650 range, and can expect the upside move towards the levels of 4,975 with the stop loss of 4,480.
Okay, So that's the take on HDFC AMC, bullish outlook coming in over there. Let's move on and talk about another high flyer in today's trade, and that's Cochin Shipyard. Now the stock of the company is surging as the company has responded to media reports about a potential collaboration with HD Hyundai for a 10,000 crore project. In a regulatory filing to stock exchanges on yesterday, the company has clarified that it has not issued any statement regarding the rumored partnership that was reported by media on the day before, and the company acknowledged it is evaluating strategic possibilities with multiple entities which are at various stages, but maintained that there is no material event requiring disclosure under SEBI regulations at this time. The shipbuilder suggested that recent media reports may be based on threading pieces of information rather than official company announcement, but despite the company's cautious response, investors reacted positively to the possibility of a major collaboration with the South Korean shipbuilding giant, and on the back of that, the stock is inching higher as we see a 6% uptick coming in on Cochin Shipyard. Of course, the entire defense pack has been in focus with a couple of trading sessions. You have the names like Mascot, and the other stocks that have been buzzing in trade, but nonetheless, today Cochin Shipyard continuing those gains and another 6% uptick coming in on the stock today.
Alright, that's about Cochin Shipyard, but other than that, let's move on and put the spotlight on Lupin. And Ansh, take us through what's been really happening with Lupin, because this too was one of the earning candidates indeed.
Yes, that's the reason why the stock is in focus. So revenue was reported at 5,667 crore, which is up by 14% on year-on-year basis, whereas PAT has given a good jump of around more than 100% to 782 crore. Whereas if you talk about EBITDA, then here so we are seeing a very good jump of almost 30% from that 997 crore direct loot to 1,292 crore. Talking about margins here also, we are seeing good improvement from 20% to 22.8%. And now there are a few highlights as well, like India business was up by around 7% to 1,711 crore, whereas other developed markets were up by around 30% on year-on-year basis. We also have a brokerage report from Macquarie where they have maintained an outperformance rating for the stock, and they have raised the target price as well to 2,515 rupees.
Okay, so that's the take on Lupin's earnings, but we also caught up with the management who said that margins will improve in the current financial year as the industry awaits for clarity on US drug price cuts. That's the word coming in from the top brass at Lupin. They also added that the India business will be industry leading. Let's go across and listen in.
We expect this base now to continue and hopefully high single digit to double digit growth in fiscal year 26 based on the existing portfolio as well as new product launches. We just launched Tolvaptan earlier this week. It's been a really strong launch for us.
There are, of course, as I said, a lot of, the positive, strokes that will actually contribute, but there are also negatives in terms of the forex rate, for example. It's been depreciating. The rupee has been appreciating a bit. So I would not venture to actually come out, but I'm very confident that the tempo would continue and our margins would increase in the next 2 to 3 years for sure, continuously.
All right, so that was the management of Lupin sounding confident on the outlook ahead. But with this, let's move on and let's put the spotlight on Deepak Nitrite. And Lakshmikant, while I was seeing the charts, the stock is once again attempting to break above that 2,000 mark for itself. It's almost a 7% jump in the past 5 days. But where do you see the stock headed?
After making the high of 3,150, the stock has seen series of decline on the weekly and daily charts. And then after we have seen a formation of base around the zone of after making bottom near the levels of 1,845 to 1,900, and now today this stock has given a consolidation breakout on the daily chart coming out from the base formation, so expecting to extension of this pullback move on the upper side. And if we look at the RSI and the key moving averages from where we have seen bullish crossover, so both these RSI and moving averages are showing positive sentiment for the stock. So one can make entry for the buying. One can take buying in this stock around the levels of 2000 to 2020, and can expect the upside target of 2150. And if anybody is buying, then one has to keep the stop loss of 1940 on the downside. Until it holds this level, we could expect this pullback move could move higher.
Okay, that's the outlook on Deepak Nitrite. Ravinder, coming to you, you've picked out a stock that's soaring in today's trading session. Kirloskar Oil on the back of its quarter for earnings. Take us through the earnings fine print. The stock is up 14% today.
Well, as Kirloskar Oil is in focus, our company has announced its Q4 number, and the company reported a consolidated revenue at rupees 1753 crore, which was up by 5.5% on a yearly basis. And if we talk about company's EBITDA, then company's EBITDA came at rupees 313 crore, registering a 3.5% growth year-on-year basis. But company's EBITDA margins declined slightly to 17.9% from 18.3%. And the reason behind the stock rally is that the company has achieved record quarterly standalone sales of 1401 crore, and revenue grew by 5.5% in Q4, which signaling that the demand recovery is on track. And the B2C segment posted a strong 15% growth, highlighting consumer traction, and management remains confident, guided by the 2B2B strategy targeting $2 billion in revenue over next 5 years. So Kirloskar Oil Engine reported a weak set of number in Q4 while profit declined, but the overall growth outlook remains positive. So back of the stock is up more than 14%.
All right, thank you so much, Ravinder, for highlighting all of that. But along with that, the company did secure a big order from Indian Navy to design and develop a 6 megawatt medium-speed marine diesel engine. We caught up with MD Gauri Kirloskar to get an execution timeline for the order. Listen in.
Currently, the order is to develop a prototype for 6 megawatt marine main propulsion for Indian Navy ships. The timeline is 36 months. And what is very significant about this order for us is that the IP is going to be developed in India by us. Versus previously, we've actually made these kinds of engines in the past, but it was with a technology collaboration with a foreign company. So the big shift this time, obviously, is to develop it indigenously, which is very, very significant. And then, of course, manufacture it as well. So that is the prototype order. Now, if the prototype order is executed in the timelines and, of course, to the standards and quality that are expected, then there will be further orders for Indian Navy ships. So that's essentially what it is. But it's obviously a very, very significant order for the company, and we're very excited about it.
All right, so that's about Kirloskar Oil, definitely one of the star performers today. But other than that, what we are seeing is, let's put the spotlight on Tata Power. This too was the earnings candidate. It was a robust performance across the verticals. Strong beat, revenue did rise 8% on a YY basis. PAT seen a surge of 25%. And along with that, what we are seeing is that the order book is looking quite robust. It's over 11,400 crores of order book specifically for the EPC business is what the company has been highlighting. A lot of these brokerages have come out with a note too, where in case in point being Elara Capital, they have actually gone ahead and raised the target price on this one, maintaining their buy rating on this counter with a target price of 504 rupees now, and they do like the stock. Along with that, with respect to the UP, the company has come out with their plans for privatization of the DISCOM. So that's the news we are getting from Tata Power on the back of the earnings as well. This stock is in focus today.
Okay, so that's the take on Tata Power. Let's move on and talk about AngelOne. Lakshmikant, that's it stock that you've picked out for us. When I pull up the charts today, not doing all that much on a year-to-date basis. The stock is down 15%, and last year also overall the stock was lower by 4 or 5%. So the stock has not done anything at all in the year gone by. Tell us if the outlook going ahead is positive, or do you believe this sluggishness will continue for some more time?
Yes, you are right, Srishti, that today's stock is not performing well, but if we look at the overall structure, so this stock has given a breakthrough above its previous swing high of 2,550. But I believe that we could see upside momentum in this stock because we have seen a positive crossover in MACD where MACD line has crossed the signal line, and even RSI has given bullish crossover. So I think any dip towards the levels of 2,540 to 530 could provide as the buying opportunity in this stock. And as we are seeing that this stock has started trading above all its key moving averages. Today it has surpassed its 200 DMA also. So that all these cues are showing positive sentiment for this stock, and we expect that once we get the follow through momentum, buying momentum in this stock, then after we could see so then this stock could surge higher toward the level towards higher levels of to 2690, which we are expecting our target, whereas downside seems to be restricted till you hold up the levels of 2480.
Okay, so those are the levels on AngelOne. Let's talk about Yes Bank. Before we do that, we just have numbers coming in for Cochin Shipyard. We spoke about this stock a while ago. That stock has seen a little bit of a dip coming in. Revenue has come in at 1,758 crores. It's an uptick on that front. PAT also a healthy uptick on this front. And margins, that's the reason why the stock seems to have taken a dip. Margins have come at just 15.1% compared to 22.4%. So big cut coming in on the margin fronts. EBITDA is also lower at 266 crores compared to 288 year on year. So that's the reason why the stock is inching down, but nonetheless still a 4.5% uptick coming on the stock. But well, let's focus on Yes Bank now. This stock is also in focus today, and it's a good move coming in on this stock today because Yes Bank shares have extended their gains as the global rating agency Moody's rating said that the move of 20% stake acquisition by Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, which is SMBC, is credit positive for the company. It said that the acquisition brings in a long-term strategic partner with a strong balance sheet and funding capacity to support its growth. Now, Japanese financial major SMBC, remember, is set to acquire 20% stake in Yes Bank from SBI and 7 other private banks like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak, Axis, IDFC First, Federal Bank and Bandhan Bank. SMBC will acquire this stake at a price of 21.5 rupees per share for 13,482 crores overall. And following the stake acquisition, SMBC will be able to nominate 2 non-executive directors to Yes Bank's board to support its strategy and governance. SBI would have the right to nominate 1 non-executive and non-independent director, which currently it has the right for 2. So that's going to be the reach going ahead. But thumbs up coming in on this acquisition by Moody's. So that's a thumbs up coming in from them, and 2.8% higher is where the stock is as we speak.
Right, but sticking with the financial space then, and let's put the spotlight on Karnataka Bank, and Ansh, take us through what's been happening here and why is the stock down 4% in trade right now?
Right, so Karnataka Bank has reported NII at 781 crore, which is down by around 6.4% if we compare from previous year, which was around 834 crore. Talking about PPOP, that has also gone down by around 25% from 500 crore to directly 375 crore. Whereas if we talk about profit, then that has slipped by around 8% to 252 crore. Provisions are also down by around 62% from 84 crore directly to 31 crore. But if we talk about GNP and NNP, then that has improved slightly. GNP has gone up from 3.08%. 3.08% down from 3.11%, whereas NNPA has come down from 1.39% to 1.31%. Also, if we see on chart, then the stock has actually snapped its 3-session gaining streak to trade in red today.
Okay, so that's Karnataka Bank's earnings. That stock under deep pressure today. Lakshmikant, coming to you, Fortis is a stock that you've picked out for us on the charts. Last 5 days itself, the stock is up 8%. Tell us what's driving the sharp momentum and how is it looking like on the charts going ahead?
The stock, after making bottom near the levels of 645 to 650, the stock has seen a bounce back move with the formations of bullish candle, and it has found a firm base near the levels of 665 to 670 zone, and today it has surpassed its previous swing high of 700 levels. Now it is currently hovering near the same. So overall structure seems to be positive till it hold up the levels of 665 to 670, and we are expecting positive breakthrough in the stock once it gives the closing of the levels of 700. Then after we could see upside momentum in the stock toward the levels of 760, which is our target in this stock.
Alright, that's about Fortis Health, but let's put the spotlight on Persistent System. This stock is down in today's trading session, but why is that so? Ravinder, give us some details on this.
Well, yes, according to reports, United Health, one of the top 5 clients of Persistent Systems, is under 2 Justice Department investigation in the US, and moreover, United Health is facing raising medical costs, particularly in outpatient and physician services, along with the unexpected high expenses from new Medicare Advantage enrollees with undocumented health condition. And as per analysts, 60% of the Persistent Systems revenue come from healthcare segment as of FY25, and revenue from the top 5 clients also increased by 21% from FY23 to 25. So as per analyst, United Health is one of the top 5 clients of the persistence system. Analysts assume it contributes approximately 4 to 5% of the total revenue. So back of this new stock is down 2%.
Okay, so persistent in pressure on the back of that news flow. Let's move on, and Lakshmikant, Bajaj Auto is the stock that you've picked out for us. Tell us what's the outlook on the charts for this one, because when I pull up the charts, last 6 months itself the stock is lower by 13%, and last 1 year also the stock is in negative. It has not done all that much, although in the last 1 month and last 5 days particularly we've seen some recovery, because 5 days the stock is up 8%. Tell us what are the next levels that you're watching and where do you see the stock heading?
See, last 2 to 3 days we have seen positive formation in this stock, and even if we look at the other auto stocks in auto indices, so they are showing positive sentiment. We talk about Hero MotoCorp, talk about Maruti. Recently Maruti has also given the upside breakout. So all that we are also assuming that as Bajaj Auto has been making higher tops and higher bottom from last few days, and now the prices started hovering above its bullish crossover of 20 and 50 DMA with the positive crossover in the RSI. So we expect that double bottom breakout in this stock at the levels of 8,300. So now it is hovering near the same. So we expect that this ongoing pullback move will continue in this stock, and we expect the upside momentum toward the levels of 9,000. So that would be the target which is coming in the Bajaj Auto. And if anyone is buying this stock, then keep the stop loss of 7,770. So till it hold this base structure above our mentioned level of 7,770, we could expect that this momentum will go higher toward the levels of 9,000.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on Bajaj Auto. But before we move on, merits to take a look at the market, because like we predicted correctly at the start of the show, the stock, Nifty has reached 25,000. It has breached that mark and it stands at its 2025 high levels right now. Looking very good for Nifty, a 1.6% uptick now coming in for Nifty. Sensex 2 in tandem, a 1.5% uptick coming over there. Nifty Bank also now a whole of 1% higher. Let's also take a look at what the broader markets are doing in trade today. And as expected, the broader markets are underperforming the benchmarks today. Remember, last 2 trading sessions, the broader markets have been showing a lot of strength and support for the overall market. But today, Nifty mid-cap is up only 0.5%, and small cap as well, only 0.5% uptick coming in contrast to the 1.5% move that we're seeing across Nifty and Sensex. So that's the move coming in the market right now. And Hero Moto continues to gain almost a 5.7% uptick coming over there. JSW and Tata Motors also 4% higher. So very healthy moves coming in across the Nifty 50 group of stocks. And you also have Cipla that's made its way back into the green. So now IndusInd Bank is the only stock that's in the red from the Nifty 50 group, and that also only a 0.4% cut coming in. So if that were to recover, we'd have all 50 stocks in the green today. But as of now, IndusInd the only stock in the red from the Nifty 50 pack. 49 stocks holding on to gains, looking very good coming in for our markets. But let's continue talking about all the stocks that are in focus. And Shilpa Medicare is in focus on the back of a positive news flow coming in for the company, because the company's subsidiary Shilpa Pharma Life Sciences has received an Establishment Inspection Report, which is EIR, from the US FDA for its Unit 1 manufacturing facility. In an exchange filing, the company stated that the US FDA has classified the inspection outcome as voluntary action indicated, which is VAI. The inspection was conducted at the Unit 1 facility from 3rd March to 7th March of this year, and that's the outcome of the inspection conducted by the US FDA. Works in favor for Shilpa Medicare, and on the back of that, the stock is up 2.8% as we speak.
All right, that's about Shilpa Medicare. But the next stock that we are tracking is actually DLF. And Lakshmikant, you take us through, how do you see this particular counter on the charts?
See, DLF, after making the swing high of around the levels of 896, this stock has seen a corrective move on the downside. But if we look at the structure of last few days, then after coming toward the levels of 620, this stock has formed some sort of base and reversal pattern on the daily as well as weekly chart, and for last 3 days this stock is holding above its bullish crossover of 20 and 50 DMA with the formations of bullish candle, and today it has surpassed its previous swing high of 698, from where we are expecting double bottom breakout. So if these levels are hold, then we could expect that pullback move go further higher toward the levels of 745 to 755 range, from where we are expecting the target of this stock, and on the downside the levels of 675 to 670 zone could act as the strong support. So until we get any decisive closing to the levels of 675 to 670 zone, we will be positive, and we are expecting upside momentum toward the levels of 745 to 755 range.
That's the take on DLF. But on that note, viewers, time to have a short breather on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we return, we'll keep going about all the stocks that are buzzing in today's trade on the fundamentals and technicals. So we'll be right back, and you stay tuned.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.